Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News with me, Katira King. Now, my next guest, Vimbai, is also an actress, model, and TV host. She started her acting career at the tender age of 15, and shortly after landed herself huge modeling campaigns such as Zayn, MTV Base, and Bio Oil. She captivated Africa's hearts whilst on the reality show Big Brother Africa in 2011, which opened the doors to stardom for her as one of Africa's leading media personalities. Since then, she's hosted several shows such as Stargist, Vimbai Travels, and more recently, Philosophy. Okay, we'll come back to it. Good morning, Vimbai.
Good morning, Katira. How are you?
Very well. All the better for you joining me.
Girl, I love how cheerful you are. I love how enthusiastic you are. This is how I want to wake up every day.
No, I'm joking.
Girl, I can feel your energy. I love it.
I love you. So let's focus on you.
Cool.
You started out with Big Brother Africa.
Yes.
And you've journeyed on to Africa Magic.
Yes.
You're doing your own thing now.
Yes.
What has this journey been like for you?
Man, it's been, it's been unpredictable. I think I've never been able to foresee further than maybe 6 months, you know, and then every 6 months something happens and you're just like, wow. And then you feel like you're living your dream and you've made it and you've arrived. And then before you know it, you reach another milestone and more great things happen. So I think definitely unpredictable is the word, and fulfilling. It's been a wonderfully fulfilling journey.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Your journey is so exciting to watch.
Yes, girl.
I'm literally like, what is she doing? Where is she? Is she in the country? It's amazing. You are a phenomenal individual.
Thank
now,
you.
1 year ago, you decided to walk away from Africa Magic.
Yes.
I don't know why. But no, tell me, because you were hosting your own shows there. You were hosting the AMVCAs, which is Africa's most watched award show. Yeah. And now you're doing your own thing.
Yes.
That is so scary and so amazing to see you do it. Talk to me about the emotions that you were processing during that time.
You know what? I hosted a daily entertainment news show for 4 years. By the time I left, I was producing it. I was the executive producer. My company was producing the show. But there's something about a daily show, which I'm sure you can relate to, is that at a point it becomes a little bit monotonous. It starts pulling out the best from you.
Anything.
No, you know, exactly, right? You know, hopefully your boss isn't watching, but no, but seriously, at some point you just feel like, is this it? Am I growing? Is there more of myself that I can explore? I'm more than the girl who brings you entertainment news or who gists or who whatever. So many other elements of myself that I needed to explore and share with the world. So it was a difficult time. I don't want to lie to you, because something that defined you for so long, but I also realized that I'd boxed myself into being the Africa Magic girl, and I also needed to break out of that and be Vimbai and let people experience all the greatness and fabulosity that I have to offer as Vimbai. So yeah, so very difficult time, but you know what? Growth is always an uncomfortable, awkward process.
Of course. If you are ready for growth, then you're not growing. It's supposed to be uncomfortable.
Exactly. I like that.
Thank you, girl. So, what have you been up to since then?
OMG. So I joined a new network, which is called Kwese, and I host a sports lifestyle show. Sports lifestyle. Yes.
Okay,
so,
wait.
I know.
Pause.
I know.
A fabulous woman like yourself in front of the camera talking about sports.
Honey.
Do you have an interest in it?
I do. I've developed an interest in it. So initially I was actually headhunted, which is what happened at Africa Magic. I was headhunted there. So I was headhunted for this project. And I like the show that I do because it's the lifestyle angle of sport. So it's very comfortable for me, but also a nice challenge, because remember, I was comfortable. So this is something that's now kind of made me snap out of it, do a little bit more research, work a little bit harder. And then of course, Philosophy, which is my brand new baby, which is a motivational series based on stories from my personal experiences, and I translate those into life lessons, learning curves, and generally things that I want to impart and share with other young women out there.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. You are so motivational. I feel like I should just retire.
I haven't started yet, Katira.
You've taken over.
I haven't started yet.
Fantastic. So talk to me about Vimbai Travels, because you did mention the fact that you are a multifaceted individual.
Yes.
And you weren't highlighting that enough previously.
Yes.
Now you are doing motivational series.
Yes.
You're hosting travel shows, sports shows, lifestyle shows. Talk to me about Vimbai Travels.
So Miss Vimbai Travels is a passion project. Obviously, if anybody who follows me on social media, media knows that I travel a lot. Most of it is work related. And I just felt like, you know what, I have a production company. Why don't I take advantage of my travel experiences and my encounters with various celebrities across Africa, document it, create a show out of it, and run it. So that's pretty much what it is. And I'm still, because it's a passion project, I'm still deciding where to position it in terms of broadcast. But yeah, it's there, it's done, and when I'm ready to share it with the world, I will. But it's literally sitting on a hard drive in my house right now.
Wow, we're so excited to take a look at it. But what we do have is one of your videos that you sent to a producer of mine, where you were very candid about your struggles as a model.
Yes.
Now, I want us to discuss. We're going to delve into it in depth during our take, but let's take a quick peek at the video.
This for a fact. You become a specialist in rejection. What you do all day is rejection. Imagine going for at least 10 job interviews every single day of your life and being turned down for all of them. Well, maybe getting one a month. We loved fashion. We wanted to be models. You know, when you're so passionate about something and every door just keeps shutting in your face and all you ever hear is no. I became very used to hearing the word no, but something in me just kept going. There's one particular no that I'll never forget. All the other no's are kind of a blur, you know. That's what no's do. That's what rejection does. At some point, it's all the same. It's just one big kind of blur. But there's always the one rejection that you remember because it's a destiny shaper. And I'll never forget that moment. You know, I was nominated for an award at they're called the NAMAs, the National Arts Merit Awards in Zimbabwe. And wow, I remember getting the nomination. It was a public vote, so I went all out. I got my friends to vote. I set up Twitter accounts. I went all out. I spent money. I mean, I was determined to do this. I knew I could do this, and I was determined to do it well. And when it came to the night of the awards, I was excited. I was anticipating, and I was supposed to present an award at the show as well. So I remember getting there, and
wow. That is so candid.
So that's episode 1 of Philosophy. Plenty more where that came from, I tell you. Do you know what, Katura? You're in this industry, but even outside of this industry, everybody's going through something. We have struggles. We're all, especially if you have just a little bit of ambition, if you want to be somebody, it doesn't come easy.
It's daunting.
But we make it look
good,
so easy, you know. But I think it's important for us to also have moments where we open ourselves up, express that vulnerability, let people into our lives and realize that, you know what, we've got these platforms to impact people and to help people be better. So,
absolutely. Yeah. Wow, that is so inspirational.
Thank you.
How easy or hard is it for you to be that candid and to just bear it all out to strangers?
Whew. Katrina, if I tell you, you know, we released that on Monday. I was a wreck. Last week, I was emotional because you don't know how people are going to embrace your story, especially now, social media generation. People are literally on standby to pick out the worst of everything. People would rather talk about your hair or your makeup than talk about the fact that you opened your soul. But it was very difficult, but the response has been brilliant. It's been encouraging. So I guess it'll get easier as it goes along. It doesn't help that I'm a very private person.
I mean,
so
I don't know how you do it. Literally, the moment I'm off camera, that's it. You're not hearing from me until I'm back on.
But I think when it's bigger than yourself, when you're driven by a purpose, when there's something within you that's telling you that, you know what, this is what you need to do, this is why you have your platform, I think you kind of let go of all your inhibitions and you just let it take its course. So that's where I'm at right now. Yeah.
So speaking of this purpose, what sort of impact are you looking to make on your Africa?
Man, that's such a good question. I think I just want to be able to inspire people in whatever way I can. You know, there's that quote that, you know, I just want people to look at my life and be inspired or something. I think I just messed up the quote, but along those lines is I just want, you know, the youth of Africa don't need money. They don't need handouts. What they need right now is inspiration, ideas, motivation.
Yes.
That's what this continent needs right now. And like I said, if we've been put in these wonderful positions where we are influenced to thousands, millions of people, then why not use it to leave a lasting legacy and know that, you know, I made a change, I made an impact, and you know what, Africa or Zimbabwe or Nigeria, South Africa was better off because I was able to give of myself. So that's what I'm looking at doing for the continent.
Amazing. So I asked Zainab earlier the hardest part about what she does. What is the hardest part for you?
The hardest part about what I do, I think it's just shutting your eyes, shutting your energy to everything else happening around you and focusing on your course and your journey. It's difficult, you know, and this, especially, I keep talking about the social media generation because you're exposed to everything and you're exposed to the best of everything. Everything is well packaged. There's filters, it's so glossy, and it takes a very strong character to be able to look at all of it and say, wonderful, this is good, but you know what? I am Vimbai and this is what's meant for me, and still be able to be fulfilled and happy, content in what you're doing while celebrating the good work that other people are doing as well. I think that's probably the hardest part of the journey for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So speaking about the industry and your journey within it, if you could disrupt or change one part of it, what would that be and why?
Ooh, if I could disrupt or change one part of it, I think I would lower the barriers of interactivity between the continent.
Right.
So, you know, I'm hashtag Pan-African gang, right? But I mean, just even accessing, something as simple as accessing Johannesburg from Lagos. It's difficult enough to travel within Africa, let alone to connect with people, let alone for us to create platforms and networks that are going to do positive things and move forward, work together, collaborate. There's so many barriers to that. So I think that's the one thing that I would be like, you know what, if I could disrupt it, I'd just collapse all the borders. I'm one of those Pan-African.
Yes, visa free.
Visa free, all of the above, more direct flights, more just, let's make it easier for ourselves to be great. But just make it so hard for Africa to be great.
Wow.
Yeah.
And speaking of greatness, tell me who some of your inspirations are that have made you the great woman that you are today.
OMG, this is what I'm supposed to say, my mom. You know what? I have a lot of inspirations, but at the moment I'm pulling a lot of inspiration from my sister, who's 1 year departed. She died last year, and I look at her life and, you know, you reflect, you look at, you know, the person's struggles, their achievements, versus their dreams, hopes, and aspirations. And I'm living vicariously through that because I feel like, okay, you know what? These were her shortcomings, or this is what she was unable to do. Let me learn a lesson from it and let me allow that to drive me forward. And this is what she did really well. Let me also embrace that, learn from that, and let it push me forward. So at the moment, she's definitely my biggest inspiration, my biggest driving force in her memory.
Oh, wow. My goodness. Vimbai, I love you, girl.
With a tissue.
We're crying over here. But for those of our viewers that want to keep up to date with your travels, with the projects that you have going on, with your production outfit, how can they do that?
Oh, y'all can hit me up anytime. I'm at Miss_Vimbai. That's Vimbai. That's across all social media platforms. And then you want to subscribe to Vimbai Mutinhiri. I'm sure they're going to spell that. You want to subscribe to that on YouTube as well, so that you can get all the latest updates with regards to Velocity, get all the latest updates with regards to Velocity, which is my new motivational series. But of course, you know, we've got plenty of fabulous content as well, inspirational, motivational, positive stories about African continent on there from my production company as well.
Yes, for the plug. Win,
Darling. Yes, they must know. They must know.
I love you, Vimbai. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I'll see you later on in the show.
Yes, thank you.
It's time now for a short break on the morning show, but when we return, it will be time for Our Take. Don't go away.